Hello and welcome to Ahmed's channel for excellence. My name is Ahmed. Do you want to score high grades in exams? Do you score high grades in exams? Because today it is believed that anything less than 95% is actually a compromise. Now, do you know that there are 4 factors that affect your performance in exams? And this seminar would teach you what these 4 factors are so that you can do something about these 4 factors. And I'm going to discuss these 4 factors in the question and answer format. I'm going to ask you questions, and in the process of answering these questions, you would know what these 4 factors are. And why should we learn these 4 factors or 4 obstacles? Because these 4 obstacles are right in front of you and you're oblivious to them. You aren't aware of them. And it's very important that one learns and understands about the enemy before even thinking of defeating the enemy. So the moment you realize and understand what these 4 factors are, you would know what to do and how to combat and how to fight your enemy and win over your enemy. So let's get started. Question number 1. Do you believe that relationships and studies are 2 different things? Do you believe that your relationships do not affect your studies negatively? I don't know what you have answered, but let me tell you something. Relationships that you have with yourself, with your parents, with your teachers, with your friends, with your loved ones, do affect your studies, either positively or negatively. And most of the times, they affect your studies negatively. Wondering how? Think about it for a moment. Let's say your favorite teacher who gives you a favorite assignment, and it's your favorite subject. You get turbocharged and super excited about this assignment. I know this doesn't happen in reality. Favorite teacher handling your favorite subject, giving you a favorite assignment, and you're getting super excited about the assignment. But then I want to assume that this has happened, and you go home, and before you could even open the book, you end up having a fight with your mother, or maybe with your father. You go, wah, 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 wah. And what happens after that? After the argument or after the fight? Do you think you're going to study? What would girls do? Girls might run to the terrace, stare at the sky and say, God, why? Why this family? And what would boys do? Maybe boys would lock themselves up in the room, log into their Facebook account and type something like, life sucks, dude. And every 5 minutes, keep checking who liked my post, who commented on my post. Whatever you do that day, you wouldn't study. And even if you study, you wouldn't be able to focus 100%. Because you see, relationships do and can affect your studies. And it's just not with your family, it's also with your teachers. Now, what happens when you, let's say, have a difficult relationship with your math teacher? Now, can you go to the math teacher and say something like, you know what, sir? I think I really hate you. Can you do that? You know, you actually can, but then the repercussions would be really sad. Instead of having meaningfully productive relationship with your teacher, if you mess up and have a relationship full of conflict and chaos, who's going to lose? Your teacher? I really doubt it. I really doubt it. You like it or you don't like it, you got to respect your teachers. You got to learn how to have meaningfully productive relationships. If not, your teachers aren't going to lose as much as you would. How? Think about it. Psychologically speaking, when you don't like a particular teacher, you might start losing interest in the subject she handles or he handles. And when you start losing interest in that subject, you wouldn't study that subject. When you don't study that subject, you wouldn't learn and understand anything. When you don't learn and understand anything, you wouldn't know anything. And when you don't know anything, you wouldn't write anything in the exam. And when you don't write anything, you know what's going to happen at home, don't you? So you see, relationships with your teachers as well affect your performance in exam. And what about your friends? What about your loved one? What happens when your friend troubles you? Your best friend. That affects, your studies. So you got to take care of your relationships, and just deciding that from today onwards I'm going to take care of my relationships isn't enough, because, just a decision wouldn't help you. You need to make a decision to learn all about relationships. You need to make a decision to develop these relationship skills inside you. And it's going to take effort, it's going to take discipline. And one fine day when you would start developing these skills, it would reflect in the quality of life you're going to lead. You will be leading a remarkably successful life when you start working on your relationships. It's just not only your studies, all your departments in life would see the benefit of it. So obstacle number 1 is bad relationships. Now, obstacle number 2. Obstacle number 2 is bad health. Yes, you heard me right. See, you and I need to understand that there are two powers that one uses in order to achieve success. The power of mind and the body. And now, if you stuff your body with junk food, if you stuff your body with beverages that are not good, you wouldn't be able to focus, because the mind and body are interconnected. What affects the mind affects the body, and what affects the body, it affects the mind. You wouldn't be able to focus and do justice to your studies. Bad health can pull you down. Now, how to maintain good health? Very simple. You need to eat according to your body, not according to your culture and convenience. What is eating according to your culture? Let's say your culture teaches you to drink coffee. I learned that 1 cup of coffee takes 24 hours to pass the urinary tract. So most of your energy is expended in getting rid of that cup of coffee. And you will have very less energy to focus on the things that matter. Deep fried stuff, maybe it's cultural food, but then it certainly affects you. And, convenient food would affect you. What is convenient food? When you're hungry, you just go to the shop, you buy something up, you open it, you eat. That's convenient. But then you don't even consider what's in it. If you don't do that, if you don't consider what's in it and what's getting inside your body, who's going to take a hit? It's you. It's you and nobody else. So you need to choose food according to your body. There's plenty of information, useful information available on Google. You can just go and Google, food that's good for body, and you'll see thousands of search results staring at you. And then you need to, number 1, you need to eat the right food. Number 2, you need to sleep properly and exercise at least for 20 minutes a day. That should do the trick. And obstacle number 3. Obstacle number 3 is called negative emotions, like anger, frustration, irritation, laziness, sadness, unhappiness, depression. Now, all these negative emotions wouldn't allow you to study, do justice to your studies. Think about it. How would you study when you're angry? You open the book and you're like, nothing enters your head. You're there for name's sake, but nothing gets inside your head. What happens when you're sad? You'll be like, nothing gets in. When you're lazy, nothing gets in. Remember this, and remember this well. You must have heard of IQ. And a good IQ can get you a job. But succeeding in that job, succeeding in your life, depends on EQ. That's emotional quotient. You need to study emotional quotient as if it's one of the subjects. And the more you study about it and the more you learn how to conquer your negative emotions, the better for you. So obstacle number 3, negative emotions. And obstacle number 4 is not knowing how to use your brain. You heard me right. Do you know that an average human brain is incredibly powerful? It's actually magnificent. It's awesome. It's got 100 billion neurons in it. That's approximately 100 billion, it's approximately 100 times India's population. Those many neurons inside your brain. And each neuron behaves like a computer when it comes to memory and recall. And the storage capacity of your brain, it is believed that your brain can store about 6 million copies, that's 60 lakh copies of your local newspaper. That's the capacity of your brain. And I've seen a lot of students cry looking at a long answer. They go, God, why should I even study this? And pull their hair. And when they're not able to study, they think that they must be, dumb. They must be, stupid. But that's not the case. If you are an average human being, you're incredibly powerful. You are actually a genius, a potential genius. You just need to learn how to use this capacity that is already there, that is residing inside you right now. You don't lack capacity because you already have it. God has given you that capacity. What you lack is a method. And the moment you learn that method, you will start performing at amazing levels. For example, one of my students, he actually failed his 10th standard preparatory exam. He failed in math. And after his 10th, when he got into college, PUC 11th standard, and he learned how to use the brain, and the moment he started applying the methods, what was his score? 100 on 100 math, 100 on 100 physics, 99 chemistry, and 96 or 98 computer science. He's one of the top students in our city today. So what should you do? You should understand that it is not, your bad results are not because you've got bad memory or bad understanding skills. It's just that you do not have the right method. I've seen a lot of students, one day before the exam, they're all prepared. They go to the kitchen, hand over the book to the mother and say, Mommy, I'm already, you can ask me anything from anywhere. Mama starts testing the child. The child spits out answers the way a machine gun spits out bullets. Da, 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 blah, 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 blah. And then the child feels confident, the mother feels super confident. And then, the next day, the scene changes in the examination hall. The student takes the question paper, looks at the question and goes, I knew this answer yesterday. The mind goes totally blank. And then first 30 seconds, the mouth goes dry. The next 30 seconds, you start praying and pulling your hair out. And when nothing seems to happen, you seek your neighbor's help.